Several days ago, my 3-year-old grandson shared with me that when a ship sinks, it becomes habitat. In the year 2000, Felipe Chukopencatlu sank. This ship was constructed in 1944 in Tampa, Florida, and it served as a minesweeper, the Scuffles, in the U.S. Navy until it was decommissioned and sold to Mexico in 1962. The ship was refitted as an Admiralty-class gunboat. It was renamed and it served from '62 through 1999 as a Mexican rescue vessel and as a patrol boat. In 2000, the ship was intentionally sank just offshore from Chankanaab Park. The Felipe Chukopencatlu is 154 foot long, 33 foot wide, and 40 feet from keel to the top of the superstructure. The original Chukopencatlu was an Aztec prince and warrior, and he died in 1521 during the Spanish conquest. Here we have ascended to the second deck. This ship, as part of the Cozumel Underwater Park, has been made quite safe for novice divers. There have been many openings cut in the deck plates and in the sides of the ship, so that for the most part you can always see daylight when you're inside the ship, and you will not become disoriented, and you'll have a clear path to the open water. An exception would be some of the small rooms off the main companionway. In this case, I swam into what might have been a radio room. It was quite dark, and turning around was really tight. I was glad to get back out into the light of the companionway. While I would classify the ship as safe, there still is a reason for caution, and it's been in the salt water for several years. There are sharp edges, and you have to be very careful as you go through holes and cuts and doorways in the ship that you don't catch your skin or your equipment on these sharp edges. When we speak of habitat, we're not just talking about a place for fishes to live. We're talking about structure on which we can grow coral, hard corals, soft corals, sponges, and then this becomes a friendly place for crustaceans and for fishes of many different kinds. You can see that corals and sponges have encrusted most of the exposed structure of the ship. Many fish are territorial, and when they make this structure their home, they'll not wander far away. There's a rather humble portion of the officers' quarters. Equipped with its own porthole to allow daylight. How nice it would have been if a diver would have swam in front of this porthole as I was here making this photo. Outside again, we're looking at the superstructure of the ship. "40 foot above the keel." Entering the film is Li Yang. Li Yang is a dive guide with Aldora Divers, Cozumel. I think she is the most relaxed diver that I've ever seen. She has her arms across her chest. She's not using her hands. Her knees are slightly bent so that any kicking that she does will result in minimum disturbance of the silt. And she hardly uses her fins at all. My theory is that she's perfected thought propulsion, where she thinks about where she wants to go, and some force that's unknown to me takes her there. Li Yang has a Chinese father, a Puerto Rican mother. She grew up in New York, and currently she's working in Cozumel, Mexico for Eldora Divers. She's a great dive guide. I would love to be as graceful in the water as this filefish. He's ready for his close-up. From a slightly elevated vantage point, I'm swimming over the superstructure and toward the stern of the ship. You can see bubbles from one of my dive companions. But you'll also see streams of bubbles coming out of the decks of the ship. And that's exhaled gas that's collected underneath the decks as a result of my friends and I diving through on open circuit scuba, and our exhaled gases rise as far as they can. They encounter the hull of the ship, and then they slowly leak out over a period of hours after we've completed our dive. It looks like the ship is breathing. And now my companions swim over the bow. Nice technique. For more than 50 years, the Shokapin Katlu sailed above the sea, and now it serves a final purpose, being a safe place for recreational divers to experience wreck diving. And in addition to entertaining divers, it's forming excellent habitat for a whole variety of marine life.